All you need is your imagination, right? You know the best things about stories? You can share them with your friends. Would you like me to share an exciting story with all of you today?
Oh, yes, please.
Yes, wonderful. Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Is everyone having a great afternoon?
Fantastic.
Oh, perfect. How about I read the story about when I met the Beast?
Yes, please.
All right, now I'm sure you all read stories at home. How does any great story begin? That's right, let's all say it together. Once upon a time, there lived a young girl named Belle, me. She loved to read and could often be seen wandering through her village with a book. You see, I lived with my father, Maurice, who was an inventor. And one day, on his way to a fair, a bad storm broke out. So he took shelter inside of a dark castle. But the master of the castle was an angry beast. And once he discovered Maurice, he would not let him leave. Well, I searched for my father when our horse Philippe returned home without him. We soon came to the castle, and I went inside. Hello, is anyone there? I cried as I walked through the hallways. It's a girl, cried Lumiere, the candelabrum, once I had passed. He jumped to the floor. She's the one, the girl we have been waiting for. She's come to break the spell. The castle had been put under a spell. All the servants were changed into enchanted objects, such as the clock and the candelabrum. Well, the prince was turned into an awful beast. The spell could only be broken if, by his 21st year, the beast fell in love with a girl who loved him back. Now, Lumiere and Cogsworth followed me. Before long, I came to the tower where my father was locked away. Papa, I exclaimed, and I knelt down to touch his cold hand. You must go, he cried, but it was too late. The beast had entered the room. I was not afraid, though. I've come for my father. Please let him out, I asked sternly. He's my prisoner, the beast growled. Well, take me instead, I offered. You would take his place? The beast asked, astonished. Well, I agreed, and then the beast dragged Papa from his cell and sent him away. On his way back to the dungeon, Lumiere suggested that his master find me a more comfortable place to stay than the cold, dark tower. The beast was not hard-hearted, though his manners were rough and his temper was terrible. When he saw me sobbing, he softened. Follow me, he demanded, and he led me to a much nicer room. Dinner, Lumiere whispered in the beast's ear. Invite her to dinner. You will join me for dinner, the beast commanded. Well, I'm not hungry, I replied. Then he stormed off. If she doesn't eat with me, then she doesn't eat at all. I was so angry. But later that night, I sneaked out of my room and I tiptoed downstairs. When I went to the kitchen, a strange sight met my eyes. All the dishes, the pots, the pans, the silverware, even the stove, were all alive, just like the other enchanted objects I had made. I am a little hungry, I admitted. You are? Cried Mrs. Potts, who had been the castle cook. Quick, the china, I'm not about to let the poor child go hungry. I had been hoping for a bite to eat. Instead, I got a full-blown feast. Beefs and cheeses, pies, puddings. Oh, I never had such a meal. My new friends treated me like a princess. Well, after dinner, I wanted to explore. My first time inside of an enchanted castle, I told the servants. They were so excited that Cogsworth and Lumiere led me around, showing me paintings and tapestries and armor that were all alive. What do you think you would do if you saw an enchanted object? Would you be a little bit scared? Would you scream? They were actually really nice. I made tons of new friends. What's up there? I asked when we came to a long staircase. It was the west wing, and everyone was forbidden to go there. I really wanted to see what was on top. So as Cogsworth and Lumiere walked away, I snuck up the stairs. Behind the door at the top was a wreck of a room. Furniture was torn apart, and a painting of a handsome prince was ripped right down the middle. The only thing that was intact was a single rose under glass, but even its petals had started to fall off. Once the last petal fell from the rose, the spell over the castle could never be broken. Suddenly, the beast shadow fell over me. Get out, he yelled, and he started to smash things. I ran down the stairs, past Lumiere and Cogsworth. Promise or no promise, I cried. I can't stay here another minute. Well, I dashed out the front door and I grabbed my horse and we rode into the forest. But the forest was not safe. It was full of wolves. They chased after us. I tried to hold them off with a stick, but they snapped at him too. Just then, the beast appeared. He growled at the wolves and he tossed them left and right. They bit at his neck and they clawed at his fur, but he managed to fight them off. At last, the wolves ran away. Well, since the beast had gotten hurt while trying to protect me, I decided it wasn't right to leave. So I took him back to the castle and I nursed his wounds. Thank you for saving my life, I said. Then, day by day, the beast and I got to know each other better. We ate together, we played in the snow together, we read stories together, and one evening we danced together. Oh, it was so wonderful. But I was still concerned about my father's health, and I wanted to see him. Now, because the beast loved me, he decided to let me go, even though it meant he wouldn't be able to break the spell over the castle. With one last glance toward the beast, I left the castle and went to my father. When the villagers heard that the beast had captured me, they decided to attack the castle. The Lumiere and Cogsworth came up with a plan to defend themselves. When the villagers stormed inside, some of the enchanted furniture fell on top of them. Teacups poured scalding tea on their heads. Cabinet doors flew open, knocking people down. Knives and forks soared through the air. The villagers ran out of the gates screaming. But during the fighting, the beast had gotten badly hurt. I returned to the castle to find him wounded and dying. Belle came back. Soon, he closed his eyes. Please don't leave me, I cried. Then, just in time, I added the 3 magic words. Do you know what those were? That's right. I told him I loved you. Then, tiny clouds started showering down around the beast. As I watched, the beast's claws turned into human hands, and his fur changed into human skin. He was becoming the prince he once was, and would be now that I had broken the spell. Belle, it's me, he said. I looked deep into his eyes. It is you, I cried. Cogsworth, Lumiere, Mrs. Potts, Chip, and all the other servants turned into their human forms as well. Are they going to live happily ever after, Mama? Asked Chip. Of course, cried Mrs. Potts with a happy sigh. Of course. And that's exactly what happened. Everyone lived happily ever after. Perfect! Oh, thank you! See, fairy tales can come true. Oh, they're my favorite. I love fairy tales. How many of you like fairy tales? Everyone in the room, aren't they fun to read? Especially ones with adventure. Well, thank you so much. I'm glad I got to read a story with all of you today. Now I better hurry to go find Chip. Has anyone seen him in any of the dining rooms today? I told him I wanted to go find him so I could read him a new story. Well, thank you so much. And read lots of books when you go home too, okay? And you can maybe share this story with one of your friends. Absolutely. All right. Bye, everyone. Have a great afternoon. I'll see you around the ship. Bye. Wow. You guys, wasn't that so fun?